welcome everybody. Welcome back to Crafting with Elaine at the WMTL. In your packet you should find cards, a handkerchief, they're all going to be different, some glue, some ribbon, some fixings. The fixings will also be different depending on the packet, but generally you'll also find glue dots. You do need to get a scissor and maybe some scrap, either paper towel, toilet paper, just a little something to wad together if you're going to be doing this particular card. This one does not need it unless you decide you want to do something with that. Now, my suggestion is that if you're not sure which card you want to do, you can try out the handkerchief on both of them and decide, well, what works better for you. Now, obviously, this has been ironed, and it makes it easier to fold and to, line up. You basically want to try and make it into a dress. The first one I'm going to show you is if you choose this particular card. Now, you may want to just check which side of your handkerchief is the right side. Now, you'll compare both and see, okay, I think that this is the right side, so I'm going to fold that to the back. Determine where your center is, okay? So you've got the center. Since this one I'm going to add a little piece to the bosom area, grab either, I don't know, some kind of tissue, whether it be paper towel, toilet paper, just something that you can crumple up into a ball. Now I kind of want to get it to be the size that I'm seeing here. I don't want it too much, so okay, let's remove some of that. Don't need that much. Okay. I kind of wrap that together, put it in the center, and drape it over. Again, the first thing I want to do is kind of grab that together. All right. Here is where we start. I've got this nice little piece of ribbon. You want to wrap it around. You're going to have extra, don't worry about that. Take a look at how it's going to fall on the card. Now obviously I'm trying to cover the card, at least that part, so that it looks natural. So I've just grabbed a hold of the handkerchief and kind of bustled it together and put this ribbon around it. Once you're happy with that kind of setup, just put it down for a second. Glue dots. I know you're going to hate me for these, but they're really good if you're not sure what you're going to do with something, because these are removable. You have a dot in the middle of two sheets of this plastic thing. It may take you some getting used to trying to get this apart. Once you've gotten them apart, just pull one side off. I get rid of that side. And quite frankly, I just peel the dot off. Put it in my hand. Turn it around so that the other side of the handkerchief is facing me. Put your dot on the ribbon and pull it across. Now, quite honestly, that's a little too loose for my likings, so I just remove it. That's the advantages of these glue dots. You're going to be able to just take them off and reposition them. Now, I don't want this extra piece, so I'm just going to cut off that little extra piece. So that it doesn't appear on the card. Now, we can do a little more with this, kind of fluff it up, bring it to where you feel it kind of looks nice. This particular one, since I'm giving it kind of like an extra fluff, I'm going to switch this around a tiny bit until I feel I'm comfortable with the handkerchief. You kind of keep moving it around until you like what you're going to see. Now, I think that needs to be a tiny bit tighter. Again, you got lots of glue dots. Okay, I think that's kind of cute. Now, glue dots again, because if you're going to be giving this card to someone, you want them to be able to remove the handkerchief and actually use it if that's what they want. Another glue dot, take it, put it behind, and stick it on. What about this part and this part? Well, again, set up your handkerchief the way you want. It's usually just a matter of pulling it, moving it around. And that's one of the advantages of ironing this thing, so that it looks pretty decent. Now take your glue dot, another glue dot, open it up. Get rid of the extra plastic out of the way. Now this should be staying there. I'm going to simply put one under there, tap it down, get rid of the extra junk here. Try to keep your area clean, otherwise you'll be going crazy. Now you got another glue dot. Open it up. Get the plastic out of the way. Put it out there. Now, see how it hangs, okay? If you want to adjust a little bit, maybe put another glue dot underneath or bring it up. Go right ahead. I gave you enough glue dots that if you change your mind, you should be able to do the other card. Okay, glue dot in hand. I'm going to tuck that under there. Okay, so it kind of falls. All right. Here, again, you decide what, this is just what I am doing. You may decide to do this differently. You've got a bow. Do I want the bow here? Do I want to put instead perhaps this piece here? You know, you find what you like. I mean, this could be used on this one. I'm not happy with that. Even a leaf, no. I'm going to stick with just one of these flowers, I think. Or do I want the bow? Now the bow is not being cooperative, but I think the bow would be pretty there. So, again, you can either use a glue dot or you can actually start using the glue that I provided in your packet. But since I'm doing this with the idea that I'm not going to keep it there, I'm pressing down the glue dot. I'm pressing down the ribbon. Okay, that's fine. Now, out comes the glue. In your packet, you should also find one of these little, almost like a base jar. I forget what the term is, but anyway, this is what you will use for the glue. I mean, it's just a lot easier. In these little things, I've got just a little bit of glue. It helps me put down where I want the glue. Just maybe squeeze the bulb, take a little bit out, not too much. Because really, you're just going to be dotting the glue on places where you want to put things. This particular item, I'm going to stick with a glue dot because I want to remove it, maybe use it for the other card, we'll see. But these little spangles I can get away with around, just kind of put a little dot. You know, squeezing out the tube at where you want those things, and just touch them down. It'll dry clear. I'm just doing a few on this one. You may, if you decide on what card you're going to do, then obviously you have your others, you know, you'll be able to decide how many you want to put out there. It just gives it a nice little sparkle. This thing, I'm going to use a glue dot, but you guys can use the glue if you want. I really think that you're better off the glue dot. I think they hold this, I don't know what you would call it. It's not a fleur-de-lis, but it's, but at the back, Put it on the card, wherever you want it. I'm just putting it where I would like it. Now I've got a bead. This is where I'll put a little bit of glue. Come on. There's a dot of glue there. And I'll let it set. Like I said, this is a very simple craft. There's nothing extremely difficult about it. Maybe this part is, a little bit crazy, but other than that, it's nothing too much. I'm going to put out a few little more dots of glue on this. I'm saving these to show you on the other card, but if you wanted to, you could easily put these on this card with maybe glue dots to, to pretty it up. You can put, wherever you want to put things, It's entirely up to you. This one, I wouldn't use it for this card. I don't see how it would fit, unless perhaps you did something with the dress, but nah. Okay, but that's that one. I am going to, now, obviously stuff is not quite stuck yet, but your result, let it dry. You have a nice big envelope. If you actually wanted to give it to someone, you could use the envelope that it came in. If you're actually going to send it, however, I would use some kind of small shirt box. Maybe prop this up with either, tissue paper, something to keep it from getting smushed. And again, in your box, I would again put tissue paper, just as you would pack something like a shirt or a t-shirt. The idea is that you just want to keep this from getting crumpled. Very simple craft, okay? All right, next we're going to look at the other card. I removed everything from the card except for the things that I glued on this card and left there. Okay, I ironed out the handkerchief again, and we're going to look at this card. Again, place things where you want them. This is not like a hard rule set down where you have to do anything in a specific area. All right, the first thing again I would take care of is the handkerchief, just so that you get a feel for it. My thing is I always put my finger at approximately the center of the card so that when I fold things over, I can see where the center is going to go. Now, I am folding it to the point where this is coming over just a little bit. Bring this down because we want the points kind of to show. All right. And maybe just a little over there. Let's see how we lay it out and see how it looks. Sometimes we're going to have to change things a little. All right, now, I am not 100% on that. If I take it in, bring it in, tuck it, standing out is not a problem, but you want these points to show, okay? So, and this is the top, doesn't have the bustle, so something like that, all right? It's not flat as a point, okay? It's stretched out to cover her waist. Get out your glue dots. I'm happy with this, okay? I am going to do a little extra on this one. While I absolutely hate these glue dots sometimes, I know that at least once they're on, I can always remove them. Unlike glue, which is going to mess things up if you have a glue gun, Okay, I would kind of like this to lay sort of like that. To get that to lay properly, I'm going to remove the glue dot. I'm going to stick it down here and just gently tuck that there. That'll help hold that in position. Another glue dot. Come on. Yeah. I remove the glue dot. You can either place it on and then rip it off, off the plastic, but I prefer to actually have it in my fingers. Okay. Up at the top, I'm going to put one. press, another. Gotta get rid of the other ones. These are called Velcro dots, by the way. They're actually, but they're glue, so like, you would call them glue dots. The other spot. Now I've got this set up. Maybe just, let's see. I'm beginning to think maybe I got this a little sideways. So I'm going to lift up, pull them off. Okay. Now again, whatever you decide how you want this, that's fine. If you want it sort of like that, decide what works for you. I think, play with it. Don't be afraid to play. If you find that it's too long, lift it up and take it under. Okay, you can do that and put the glue dots down as well. I would, if you're going to do that, put the glue dots here, roll it under, stick. All right. We're kind of bunching things up. I'm trying to see how I like this thing. If you don't, you really do have to play around with it until you find what you're gonna like. Try putting that down again. Actually, I think I have, I thought I had. There. Okay. But I want it to spread out. Okay. You can reuse the glue dots on pieces. Just try to get, I got a little spangle attached to that one. Okay. I've got the bow. I'm debating whether I want the bow. Oops, glue dot. Or do I put this around the waist? Nah. Not going to look right to me. I got too many glue dots hanging out here. See, this is from the other card, and it's still stuck to it. Okay. Now, I was looking at this piece, or there was pink pieces in other people's packages, and I'm like, well, okay. Something like that would be kind of cool as a hat. Put the dot behind it, another glue dot. Find where you want it placed. Again, I still have a glue dot attached to this one. I think I do. I'm going to roll it a little bit so it's stickier. Press it down. Get out the glue. You find what works best for you. I mean, like if you're putting stuff on the card, a hot melt glue gun might be better than using glue. I don't know. I'm just going to look, I'm looking at these flowers here. I don't want to put glue on that though. Just a little dot of glue there. Try to keep the glue from getting all over everything. Put a pearl. Oopsie. It's getting away from me. Put that in. I am going to use some of my remaining glue dots here. Okay. I like these flowers. Put it on the back of the flower. Press it in position. Another glue dot. Maybe I should have, oh, let's see. I'm looking at this flower and I'm saying, you know, that would have been nicer, maybe right there, or even on top of that. That would be good. All right, let's get that little glue dot on that. Let's get the petal out. Glue dots are nice because at least they don't permanently stick to stuff and you can change things around. Smush it down. Oh, I obviously didn't put anything on this one, or not enough. Let's put another glue dot. Ah, I found a clump of glue dots over the other side. So, let's see. Like so? Well, I don't know. Or do I just even put it across that? You know, you don't have to use everything if you don't want to. You know, you can rearrange it to where you want it. If I would just leave that plain, that's okay too. I've got this little flat little leaf. You know, you decide what you want to do with things. I just think it's entirely up to you how you do something. That's kind of cool too. I'm not so sure about that. Now this particular flower, I got a little bump in it, so I'm going to grab my glue dot and just put it there and get the petals to stay open. Okay, I've got the glue dots that I used for the other card. I'll just tear it apart. Do I want that there? I think it's kind of ick. So I think this would look kind of good up there, or maybe as a hat. Though I'm not happy with it as a hat. So I will put this up at the top end of the card. No, maybe down here. You know, fool around with things. Find what you like. If it doesn't fit to the card and you're not really happy with it, get rid of it. This is not too bad. It's a little cluttered though. I don't know. I think I'm going to leave that off. So I'm just going to leave this one kind of simple. But I do have a bunch of little, what do you call it? God, I can't think of the name. A little bit of Alzheimer's going on here. I think I would like to kind of just put like little dots of glue here. See how that looks with the white. White spangles. Come on. If you have a toothpick at home, maybe it might make it easier to place these things so it doesn't move around so much. Like I said, you decide what you want to put on the card, what you don't want on the card. It's entirely up to you. Now I'm still deciding whether I want that there. Yeah, that's okay. I'm going to tuck that under just a little bit. Do I have any left? A piece of used glue dot I'm using just to get this a little tighter. You have to find what you think works. Okay? And it's finished. Now, as I said before, I'm going to show you how to make a bow using a fork. Okay, with ribbon. Now, obviously, I didn't include ribbon in your kit because this is not part of the craft per se, but it might be interesting for you to see. Okay, I was going to show you how to make a bow with a fork. You can find videos online about this anyway, YouTube. Place I guess it's about, I take a section of ribbon. This one's about, I don't know, 7 inches or something like that, but I know I'm not going to use all of it. Place the ribbon over the fork. Place it above the fork. Now, take your end, put it between the middle prong, leave this circle open. Okay, this is why you need a little extra ribbon. Put your thumb on top of everything so it doesn't close on you. You want to be able to get in there. Take the end piece underneath, pull it up through the middle tongue, Now we got to put that into that loop. Into the loop. Come on. Maybe a longer piece of ribbon might be better for starting. I am having a time. Okay, once it's in the loop, you're going to draw it through that loop. If I can get it through, there we go. Okay, come on. And pull tight. Oh, you know, once both in length, pull it tight, 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 and I do mean tight, because you're forming the knot. Okay. You're saying, well, okay, how does this come out? You can take it off the fork, turn it over, and cut the lengths. Why did I use this scissor? Now this is basically how I made the bows for your project. And it's quite a nice little bow. All right, now this obviously is going to have to sit a while to let the glue dry on those little spots. If you need, push down on those glue dots to make sure that the items are secure. Again, this dress can be, the hanky can be adjusted to however you want it. But basically you want to be able to see 1, 2, what happened to my 4th point here? 3, 4, okay. You want to see the 4 points if you can. You can do it in another way by, you know, folding it over into pleats. Whatever you feel you like, that's fine. But it's a simple craft. It's not going to cost you really anything. Just a heads up, these pictures, which were printed onto these cards, came offline. I mean, came online when I looked under Victorian woman. And okay, these are artisan, in other words, produced by artists. So if you were to try and sell like your cards, I don't know if you would really be allowed to. I don't honestly know if we have to pay a royalty or something like that. I don't know. But the idea to create something simple like this, where you can put your, you know, put a nice little note to whoever, you know, they might really like receiving this. Especially some older adults would be like, wow, handkerchief. Oh yeah, the handkerchiefs I got off Amazon. I think it was $20 for 20. These things, unfortunately, you know, the flowers and stuff like that, was a donation to the West Milford Township Library for our crafts. Somebody, I guess, had passed away, and we acquired them that way. But that's just it, a simple little craft. And again, depending on which one you want to do, I could always embellish this a little more with a few spangles, you know, putting down some glue and just kind of making it a little more fun. It's up to you. So now I've got this extra bow I could put there. No, or even bow there, who knows. Okay, and that's it. So please just remember, if you have any questions, email me, Bindler, BINDLER, @WMTL.org. Thank you for watching.